Welcome to our analysis segment. There's not many things went right to Wales, but they did certainly make those 3 tackles, which look like a deliberate knock-on, Tom. But let's have a look at the first one here. The tackle on Johnny Sexton, but he timed it perfectly, but it looked like a deliberate knock-on, but his intention is go for the tackle, perhaps.
Yeah, this is a bit of a grey area in rugby at the moment. Obviously, TMO does come into play a lot, but I think as long as the intention and the eyes of the tackler are focused on the man and not the ball, then obviously it's not a deliberate knock-on. But there was a few instances within the game where there was a question there for a penalty at some point if it's stopping a try happening, especially on the outside channels.
Absolutely, yes. This is the one incident, and let's have a look at the other incident in terms of similar fashion. This was Dan Biggar. Again, he knows that for the fact that his pass is going to come, but the referee just allowed play. Yeah,
and the way that he can see here from his body language, that arm is almost being left there on purpose, deliberate. And I'd say there is questions here for a penalty, because that inside pass is on. There's clear space there inside the defender, and that player there, number 15, I think is going to be in through the gap.
Absolutely, and that did not stop in terms of knock-on or deliberate knock-on controversy. As we move on to the next one, again on Dyer's here on that occasion, Tom.
And then for me, this is probably the most clear-cut penalty, because the guy on the outside channel, there's no one in front of him. If that pass there, I think it's from Sexton, goes across Dyer to the guy on the outside channel, looks like he's in for a try.
And what is the message? I mean, in terms of what we heard from the ref mic rather, is that he had both hands. So what is the message if you're playing, let's say?
Yeah, I think for us it's easy. Obviously, we have the ability to freeze it, to pause it, and to look at it from this sort of angle. But you can clearly see that Dyer's reaching for one hand. Now, by the letter of the law, if you're going for one hand, then it's a deliberate knock-on. It's a penalty. Obviously, penalty try, you can't give it too far away from the try line. But as a player, you're taught to go for it for 2 hands and make a conscious effort to actually go and grab the ball. But here, Dyer's leading with one hand, and that should be a penalty.
Well, that's another key learning in terms of the knock-on and deliberate knock-on controversies. Let's move on to the next one, where is Justin Tipuric's pass, because Liam Williams made huge meters breaking from the 22, and then he went all the way. And Justin Tipuric, if you look at this floated pass, unfortunately he overcooked it, Tom. But look at his position-wise, left foot forward, and his passing should be the right foot. Is that the right idea to go for the pass, or should he have gone to the contact and create another phase from there?
Again, it's easy for us to sit here and pass judgment, but at this point here, you've got 5 Irish players around him. You look at the score and the time on the scoreboard as well. It's 27-10. So Wales are obviously chasing the game. They're looking to get the points on the board as quickly as possible. And if he can get the ball over to his outside man there, then potentially they're in for a try. But probably in hindsight, you're going, right, let's carry that. Let's not try. That's a tough pass to make. You've got 3 players in front of you looking to make the tackle. You've got a guy in between you as well. This guy here is the Irish winger. He's a very good defender. To get that ball over the top of him, it's a tough pass for any player, even if you're a Johnny Sexton. But I think, looking back, you're probably looking to carry that. You've got enough support around you to get there, recycle the ball, play the next phase. I mean, if the pass goes to hand, it's brilliant, but it's a tough pass to make.
I'm sure being a winger, you need that pass to come because there's so much open space on that. Let's move on to the final incident of that we picked. Here's the opportunity in the 24th minute. Dan Biggar, it's pretty much like 2-on-1, but he had the opportunity. You being in the winger, what would you do? Because that's a lost opportunity.
Yeah, I'd be screaming there. If that ball can go to that wing on the outside channel, they're in for a try. I mean, again, it is a tough pass. Biggar is under pressure. I mean, we're looking at this as a pause frame right now. He's probably going to get a man coming at him. He's got the man in between as well. That winger could maybe shorten it up a little bit and give himself more space on the outside. So he's coming in shorter, communicate it to Dan Biggar, and then obviously try and burn the guy on the outside. If Dan takes a couple more steps, you've got the inside defender there falling. You can see that he's falling, so he's probably not going to make the tackle. If Dan can take an outside break a little bit and then feed the guy, but the end result has got to be that winger scores a try in the corner.
Absolutely. So those are the messages for all those youngsters who's watching. Of course, Tom coached the Oxford Brooks, and we are from BCU, and everyone who in that position. So hope there's some key learnings in terms of that Wales versus Ireland game. And that's all for the analysis. We'll go back to the show.